we're doing a complete walkthrough of the 2025 Kia Sportage X-Line Limited. And Charlotte, we might not have fun and games, but you know what we do have?
We have tech and comfort.
That's right. This is the top trim level of the Kia Sportage for the 2025 model year, and there are a couple changes, so it's not a complete carryover from last year. Charlotte, should we get into it?
Absolutely.
Let's start off with the front end and a full exterior walkthrough.
And if you haven't already noticed, these videos are obviously done live.
Yes, and sometimes they live stream start without us
starting it.
Start. All right, first let's start off with the front end. So like I mentioned earlier on, there's going to be a couple changes for 2025. Can you guess what they are already? We got a lot of blacked out elements. So our Kia emblem is done in this nice matte black. It's still stamped into the hood, so it's giving you a nice clean look. Now when it comes to both the X-Line and the X-Line Limited trim levels, on the exterior they're almost going to look exactly the same, and that's thanks to the fact that they got raised roof rails, exclusive alloys, and some nice X-Line design element packages. Where the Limited stands out is the fact that it's going to be your top trim, giving you all the tech and safety that's available in the gas Sportage. So let's start off with tech. Right in the very center of our blacked out grille, we have our forward-facing camera. That's one of the elements that are going to make the X-Line Limited special, so you're going to get a full 360 camera view of everything that's happening around your vehicle. You can view this while you're parked, but of course if you are slowly moving your vehicle, let's say pulling up to our parking spot, it's going to give you the corresponding camera to whatever kind of movement you're doing. So pulling up, forward camera, reversing, backup camera, of course. Headlamps are quite special on the X-Line Limited as well. You get those beautiful LED boomerang daytime running lights, but you're also now going to also get our premium projector style LED headlamps. So the main headlamp unit is a full LED, and projection just means it's going to be more focused where you need it most. So less, I don't want to use the term overspray, but overspray. It's just where you need it, and that's good for not only you, but other drivers. For the rest of the vehicle, we do have LED fog lamps. They have shut off, so let me go turn those back on. They are placed lower in the vehicle's front end. There we go. They should be back on now. So nice and bright. You'll also get that on the X-Line as well. Black all throughout your front grille over here, a little bit of body color in your front bumper, and you also get forward-facing parking sensors. So of course, that's going to tie into your forward-facing camera. As soon as the sensors pick up something, it'll trigger a camera, and you can actually see what's going on up front of your vehicle. On the lower end of the vehicle, our skid plate is also going to have a nice dark finish, and we have a forward-facing radar sensor. This radar sensor is going to do a whole lot. Number one, your forward collision avoidance and your smart cruise control. When you hop into this trim level, you'll also get the added benefit of highway drive assist, meaning this vehicle can maintain its speed based off the vehicles ahead of you and what traffic conditions are happening, take you to a complete stop, and also steer for you in your lane just to make sure you're centered, following at a good distance, and you're constantly paying attention and safe. There's a lot of advanced safety functions on this vehicle, and we'll talk more about it as we go towards the side. But first, let's talk powertrain. So this vehicle, like all the gas Kia Sportages, are all going to have a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine. Now this engine's going to get you 187 horsepower with 178 pound-feet of torque. It's naturally aspirated, and the best part is, in true traditional fashion, we get an 8-speed regular automatic transmission. So no CVT, no IVT, and no dual clutch transmission. You put the car in drive, it'll work through all 8 of its gears nice and smooth. So a very, very comfortable ride. Now when it comes to wheels, like I said, the X-Line and X-Line Limited have their own unique wheels. You get 19-inch alloys, and for 2025, they are blacked out. So your center cap is all black. They're also mounted on a Michelin tire. So premium tire for this vehicle. There is a reflector just on the trim piece over here, and you may notice the trim piece is plastic, so it's not body color, which makes it a little bit more practical for Canadian weather, especially when it's like this, where our roads are covered in salt. Speaking of Canadian weather driving, or just any sort of driving, it is an all-wheel drive vehicle. You can only get the X-Line trim levels with all-wheel drive, and it's going to be forward or front-wheel drive biased. I was thinking of forward collision avoidance. So front-wheel drive bias, of course, means if it's a beautiful day, sun is shining, and you're driving on a regular pavement, it's going to be primarily front-wheel drive. However, if you accelerate your vehicle, come from a standstill, it will kick into power to the rear. Otherwise, if you're turning onto a gravel road, muddy road, snowy road, that kind of thing, it'll incorporate power from both. So very smart. You also have the option to put your vehicle into select terrain mode, so you get snow, mud, and sand, and each of those will change the torque distribution, but also your stability control, traction, and whatnot. You also get drive mode select too, so you can put this vehicle in sport mode and have a little bit more throttle response. So if you have a heavy foot, you might like that. Coming up to the windshield. Now you may not be able to tell by looking at it, but it is a heated windshield, and you also have rain sensing wipers. Up ahead, we have our raised roof rails. So exclusive to the X-Line and X-Line Limited trim levels. Your mirrors are black in color, and you do have a side indicator, as well as your blind view monitor. So this camera that you see on both your mirrors is going to be exclusive to this trim level. It's not just there for fun though. Of course, it's going to give you a live camera feed of whatever's happening in your blind spot every time you go to indicate a turn. So whether it's a lane change or a full-blown left or right turn, you'll see everything that's happening there. And bonus points if you're parallel parking, because it shows you exactly where your wheels are, if they're lined up, and make sure you don't hit those curbs.
Nobody is curbing these wheels.
Nobody. All right, for your door handles, they are body color, and we do have proximity entry. So as long as the key's on you, you can just walk up to your car, press this, both driver's side or passenger side, to unlock the doors. Coming along to the side profile, you'll see it hasn't changed since last year, but lots of black accents so surrounding your pillars. It's all going to be gloss black too, so it does have a lot of dimension shine and it stands out. Towards the back, the taillights are probably my favorite on the Sportage, and I'm happy they are still similar for the next gen. So you will see a lot of black for the housing and full LEDs for the taillight themselves. X-Line trim levels will give you X-Line exclusive badging and your rear emblems. I'm so happy they are the same. We got black for everything. Some of our other vehicles that do have a blackout package or dark emblem sort of package, they can kind of be mix and match, so there's still some chrome.
It's like blacked out on the front, but then chrome on the rear.
And it doesn't exactly make sense, so I'm happy that Kia stuck through and made it all the way till the end with all black accents. Towards the back bumper, you'll see a lot of dark accents again. So in the previous iteration of the Sportage, there was a lot more chrome, or I should say satin chrome, so not exactly overly shiny, but definitely not as dark as what we have here. It's going to be a little hard to see because our camera quality isn't always the best, but we do have rear parking sensors also tied into our bumpers. So when you're reversing this vehicle, it will, of course, warn you if you're getting too close to something. It's not just for parking though. If you're reversing out of a busy spot at the mall, grocery store, that kind of thing, this vehicle will warn you if there's any pedestrians or other vehicles in your surrounding area and hit the brakes if you fail to do so. So I actually just saw a video of someone complaining about this function because they didn't know how to turn it off. All of these functions I'm talking about today, you can shut off. So if you're not a fan of all this tech and gadgets, but you really like the comfort of this vehicle, you can always shut these things off and turn them back on. Or better yet, if you're a multi-driver household, you can have them on for some people and off for others. Backup cameras also placed right back there. And of course, we said this is the highest trim level of the Sportage, so you'd expect some comfort. You do get a smart liftgate, which is quite nice.
Check out that wiper.
Yeah,
sorry.
Hidden wiper. I'll show that once we close it again. A smart power liftgate, it's proximity based as well too. So I know some other manufacturers, if you want it to power open without you touching your key, you have to, the water dropped just went on my forehead.
Shower.
Shower time. Some other manufacturers, you have to kick underneath the bumper to hit the sensor. This vehicle, you just stand here for 3 seconds, power opens for you, which is quite handy. You don't have to drop your stuff or lose your balance. Space-wise, the Sportage is plentiful. So because it is a 5-seater, we have all this room for cargo, and you're not worrying about a third row, but you can still comfortably carry 5 passengers at all times. Now the seats themselves do fold down. You do have these latches on both the left and right side to fold down the corresponding seats, and they do actually go almost completely flat. You just have to lock it into place. Each of those rear seats also have car seat tethers, and underneath the floorboard, you do have a temporary spare tire. It's a compact spare, nonetheless, still a spare.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, something you don't see every day. The floorboard, you can also drop it down. You'll get about probably 2 inches of extra space, but nonetheless, there's still just so much space in the back of the Sportage. When it comes to fuel efficiency, the regular gasoline model of the Sportage, so what we have here today in its all-wheel drive configuration, is going to be rated at 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Now you can definitely see it do better depending on how heavy your foot is, or worse, also depending on how heavy your foot is. The fuel tank is 54 liters, so not too large. And like I said, this vehicle can be very fuel efficient or fairly fuel efficient depending on how you drive, or you can make it not so good. Charlotte did drive a Sportage for a while in this trim level, and I mean,
it cost me about $50 to fill it up. Now,
gas is more expensive now.
I was going to say, take into account that was well over a year ago,
Yeah.
and fuel prices in Ontario have gone up. So take that with a grain of salt. That's why we give you the liters in fuel tank.
And of course, if you love the look of the Sportage and you value fuel efficiency a little bit more, there is also a hybrid and plug-in hybrid variant of it, which of course will be a bit more fuel efficient, but not hating on this, it's still very efficient and it makes a lot of sense for a lot of drivers.
It does a great job for having the amount of passengers that it can hold with the max amount of cargo that you can hold. That's one thing that the Sportage does really, really well.
The amount of space is quite impressive. There's one more safety function I'll point out, and it's the fact that we have blind spot detection. So I already mentioned my cameras, which of course is super helpful, but you also have this icon that'll illuminate if there's a vehicle in your blind spot. That way you have a warning in advance, and of course beeps for you, and then on top of that you'll get the visual input from the camera. Now Charlotte's going to take you guys on a tour of the inside. Feel free to ask any questions, and we will answer them towards the end of the video.
Yes. Sam did ask a good question. I will point it out or answer it just since we are out here. He was asking about tint and if that comes from factory, if this is an add-on for the second and third. This is privacy tint just for the second and third row. That is factory. No tint on the windscreen, like there's no eyebrow or double eyebrow or anything. Double eyebrow is really gangster.
That's illegal.
It's really gangster. And there is none on the front, so if you want to go and tint your front windows, that would be something that your dealer could definitely do for you. Here's a good look at the interior of the cabin, just that way you guys can see the configuration. We have a really great amount of space. I love the Sportage. I do. And every time I look at one, I'm like, dang, I miss that car. I really do. All right, let's take a look at some of the features that we have. So on the door, you'll get a good look at the interior personality. We see lots of personality on the outside, and sometimes just like us, you get to see a little bit more on the inside. What I mean by that is we have a beautiful wood grain trim, so I love this, especially stretching across the center fascia of the vehicle. I think it looks fantastic, and you'll get a better viewpoint of it as Gabby comes into the cabin. Also, you'll notice the fact that we have integrated memory seats, so you can save 2 per user profile for a grand total of 6 different options. So fantastic, again, for a multi-driver household, because those can be linked to your user profiles too. Your windows and windows in the front are going to be one touch and also optical detecting with regular automatic, and you have your window lock too. Down below, you notice our bottle compartment, and we also have a Harman Kardon premium sound system, which is exclusive to the X-Line Limited.
Ooh.
I know, very nice. The seats themselves, they are synthetic leather, but they are still quilted, so a little bit more of that cushy and luxe feeling, which I think looks fantastic, especially on the insert. And then for the configurations for your seat, you're able to bring it forward, backwards, up, down, adjust your backrest, and then you also have 2A lumbar support, so lots of different ways to configure it and then save it to your seat configuration. Over here, you'll see a little bit of piano black. That's going to be for our brightness adjuster, tailgate control, traction control, and electronic parking brake. Also, I want to point out the fact that our vents, they're encased in piano black, so more black accents with a little bit of a darker chrome. And they also mimic the boomerang style that we see for our headlamp unit.
Ooh.
Looks so nice. I wonder if we'll see that again. I can't quite remember for the 26th, so.
I guess you guys will have to
Can't
subscribe and find out.
like. All right, you want to come around?
Yeah, we did get asked about the pedals.
Oh,
if
they are covered. They have stickers on them. Sorry, my mic. I think it just rubbed against my pant.
Pedal peel.
Oh. Oh. This is the most unsatisfying. Sports style.
Nice pedals.
Not for your dead pedal, though.
All right. And again, some changes for this year. Everything's dark. There were a couple black accents on the previous body styles, but your key emblems, your wheel center caps, and of course the rear emblems were all going to be a nice kind of brushed aluminum finish. Now it's all matte black.
On the inside? Or the exterior?
Outside.
Oh, okay. Tell me about your seat, because there's something nice about it.
Yes, it is a powered passenger seat, so height adjustment. And of course, you can adjust how close or how far you're going to sit. Then you also have the backrest. And just like Charlotte's seat, you get that beautiful quilted design. So
having a height adjustment on a passenger seat is really nice too, so very comfortable. The seats themselves, they're both heated and ventilated, so again, very comfortable depending on the temperature. And the steering wheel that I have directly in front of me, it's leather wrapped, it's heated all the way around, very comfortable design, and you'll notice the split between our media controls and our driving controls. And if you want to learn more about some of the secrets of your steering wheel, we've actually done a dedicated video on it under our tips and tricks playlist. And if you ever want to learn more about tips and tricks for your Kia, Hyundai, or any vehicle, we actually have whole playlists dedicated to it on our channel, so check those out too. I will show you what we have in the center. So exclusive to this trim is going to be the dual 12.3-inch screen. So if I use this notes icon, I'm able to cycle through things like my vehicle's trip computer, navigation, because we do have in-house integrated nav, also that power distribution and your TPMS, and then which safety features are going to be enabled, and a quick jump into your safety features too. Behind us, we have paddle shifters, so if you want to go and manipulate those gears, the 8-speed, that you definitely can do so utilizing those. And we still have our lighting stock and our wiper stock. And then there's a good look at the screen with our nice, it is fully digital, but you do have that analog design for your speedometer and also your tachometer, which I really like. And it does give a little bit of a response and change depending on the different drive mode that you have it in. So there's your sport, same thing with your tach, smart, and normal. And then you can set it to default in your cluster too.
how'd you change the drive mode?
Fantastic. So I press down if I want to cycle between drive and terrain, and then I'm going to twist either way, to change them. So snow, mud, and sand for our 3 terrain modes, and normal, sport, and smart for our drive modes. All right, let's take a look over here. Another 12.3-inch screen. I really like the software. It is quite responsive, and with this software, you are going to be utilizing a wired connection for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. From here, you can also see the navigation screen on your map, so integrated nav. You also have quiet mode, which is fantastic for an SUV because it's going to dampen those rear speakers. Again, very nice if you have a premium sound system and have people snoozing in the back but still want to enjoy some music up front.
Can I butt in with a question?
Of course.
Superstar asked, I have a question regarding the Sportage X9 Limited. Is it available to use wireless CarPlay?
No, unfortunately it's not.
So wired only.
Wired only.
And it will not be available as a software update.
So not for vehicles like this with this software. However, the 2026 is going to be your year. That's going to have the updated software, so it's going to look different, and that is going to have the capacity for over-the-air updates, so future software updates, but then also for it's already going to have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
On all trims.
On all trims. But this is never going to get wireless. This vehicle, this software. That sounds so definitive when I say it. I'm like, I'm just trying to get the point across.
Are you sure?
Yes. Bet my life. All right. Now, Gabby mentioned that you can change a lot of your safety features, turn them off, put them into an active alert or active assist. And here's where you're going to be able to do that. The nice thing is each of them are going to give a little descriptor, so it's very easy to use, very user-friendly. And that's a really good thing that you'll notice between Kia and Hyundai's vehicles. You have Kia Connect as well, which is going to be Kia's telematics system, so use that smartphone integration if you would like to. You also have Sirius XM and HD radio data available for this vehicle. Down below, we have a switchable infotainment and climate control cluster. So right now it's set to my infotainment. Press that and it's going to go and switch to my climate. Dual zone climate control as well, which can also be controlled via the screen if you don't like this, or also with your virtual assistant from your steering wheel. From here, yeah, you can also set it as a default, so if you prefer having it default after a couple seconds to your infotainment or climate, you can also set it. So personally, I like to have it set to climate because I use this for all my infotainment. Down below, wireless phone charger. So I know it's a little diabolical having the wireless phone charger with the wired connection, but live and learn. 12 volt, USB-C as well, engine start stop, regular leather top gear shift, which I like. And then I already mentioned the fact that we have our heated ventilated seats and our heated steering wheel. I like that they are all together. On here in the center, downhill braking assist, auto hold, idle stop and go, your rear view camera with your parking sensors. And again, if any of the sensors or cameras pick up anything, it's gonna automatically bring you up the live feed for whichever relevant camera. And if you put the vehicle into reverse, it'll also go and put you into reverse. I'm gonna quickly turn the vehicle on. And this is gonna be those mirror cameras when you're indicating a turn. Okay,
Is there actually a green car in my blind spot?
There is. That's a morning haze car, actually. Right, get it right. Up top, you'll notice that we have a beautiful dark headliner, which looks fantastic, and it's really well complemented if you want a little bit more light, with our huge panoramic sunroof.
That is a huge sunroof.
Like just keeps going. It literally keeps going. It opens up to about the halfway point where that bar is. You'll also notice we have a bug net to help reduce any creepy crawlies getting into the vehicle while you are driving. And then the last thing I want to bring your attention to, well, two things. We have LED interior lighting, so that's here. Your mirror is an ECM mirror with home link too. Oh, center console. I didn't talk about cup holders either. Okay, another thing. Center console, it's here. Decent amount of covered space. And we have guillotine style cup holders. I always do them the wrong way at first. But having these flex cup holders allows for lots of usable space. I can actually fit an umbrella in there, like a smaller one, and then you can open them up to hug your drink accordingly. Second row.
Also nice if you have one of those giant water bottles because you can tuck this back in. And then...
Or if it's got like a handle, like whatever the hot girl water bottle of the month is.
All right, back seat, back seat.
Back seat, back seat. Okay, bring this back up. Very easy to do so.
You guys are wondering. So the MSRP is $43.95 Canadian, and then with your freight and air and whatnot, $45,495 Canadian.
Okay,
just put that back there.
Yeah. So these seats are really great. You'll also notice the Sportage has tons of room. If you think that my back is a little bit too straight, these seats, you are able to recline, and this is the max amount of recline that they will give you.
You look comfy.
I am. Thank you. Speaking of comfort, these main seats, the two main seats here are also going to be heated. And actually, do you want to show the door? Yeah. Because I think that the door is great because it's not forgotten about. It means, you know, your second row passengers aren't forgotten about. You still have that premium sound. You still have the wood grain. You still have the nice design for and sturdy door handles. You've got the heated seats. It looks really good too. For some other amenities that we have back here, our headrests are going to double as a bag holder or coat rack, should you choose to do that. You have hooks here, which are really nice for a charger if you want to wrap it around, especially since they're so close to the 2 USBs that we have integrated into the seats. Leather pocket. You have rear vents, so getting some airflow back here too. And your armrest is going to drop down. Very nice. And we have sets of tethers for your car seats too. Tons of headroom, tons of legroom, even with the sunroof. Like, look at that.
Very nice.
Like, my arm is up there. The nice thing is, as well as the seat is quite wide. One thing I also, oh no, I don't know what I thought that was for a second. We do have a little convenience pocket here, so if you do want to put your devices while they're charging, that's a good place to do that too.
USB-C.
USB-Cs.
And little clips.
Yeah.
We got asked what we would clean the piano black inserts of the interior with. So I'm just gonna see if our cubby over there actually has it. So obviously you want to use the softest cloth possible you can find, or else it will scratch. But, so a microfiber. And
Wow.
if everything's in our favor, we should have some in here. Oh no, we
Other
don't.
side.
No, not even here.
No, you're lying.
So it's not this. This is Easy Beads. But we do have a lighter pink. It's a Bloomco product called Super Shine, and that not only makes your car smell fantastic, but it makes
It does what the name says.
yeah, it shines.
I will say I've used like glasses cleaning solution. If I'm in a quick pinch, I'll just use like a microfiber cloth and just wipe it down, and it's going to alleviate those fingerprints. I will say with your microfiber cloths, if you're washing them, hang dry them. Don't put them in the dryer. They lose kind of that like
They're
streakiness.
microfiberness.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
All right, shall we answer some questions?
I would
Char?
love to. Do you want to sit in the back seat or do you want to sit out here?
Let's do vintage style. We'll
I was
bring
going to say it's warmer out here today.
the camera back here. All right.
So we're entering into our Q&A portion. So if you guys have any questions, we would love to answer them for you.
Yes, so let us know. I hope we broke down the fact that the X-Line and the X-Line Limited are different trims enough. Essentially, I'll give you the rundown again. The X-Line looks almost exactly the same. It's got the nice wheels, it's got the blacked out exterior, it's got the raised roof rails, but it does not have some of the tech and safety that this vehicle, the X-Line Limited, has. So the X-Line is placed, I think, 3 trim levels in from the base, and this is the highest trim level. May I ask a question? Who wrote the video description today?
Oh, I wrote the description. Is it bad? Did I misspell something?
I don't know. I wrote the title, Charlotte followed through with the description, and I made the thumbnail. That's why the editing's so good.
Yeah. Glenn says, can we see the key fob?
Yeah, so I very much love this key fob. Now for the 2026 model, it's more than likely that we're gonna get one of these keys, which is larger, but a little bit more lightweight.
But this is your current key fob. It's slim profile. And from here, you'll notice you've got everything
you need
on there. But you also have the option, oh, wrong way. Huh, I'm new here. To do integrated remote start from your key fob.
Oh, you spelled my name wrong.
No! Sorry, girlfriend. Oh, I think I actually
GAI.
put the wrong price too. I'm gonna go and correct that right now.
No, you got the right price. $43.95.
$43,095. It's 43.
Yeah, $43,095.
Is it? Okay, thank you.
You got it right.
Slow. Okay, Gabby. Okay, it's fixed, guys.
Let's see. Is it possible to get a Kia/Hyundai Gabi and Charlotte autographed water bottle? Sure.
I don't even know if we have water bottles.
Bring your own
You
water
gotta bring
bottle.
your own. There was a question I saw earlier.
Someone wants to go off-roading. Is it possible to install a skid plate? So you got a bit of a skid plate on this vehicle. Now, I will say, this vehicle is not meant for off-roading.
No.
You could definitely, drive up your cottage road. You can go through some ruts, whatnot.
It's not 4x4.
Yeah, don't take it on crazy sand dunes. Don't take it to the middle of the forest. Don't take it to a corn maze. Nothing like that.
Corn maze.
I don't know. That's one of my intrusive thoughts.
Fair enough.
Hey, Pat, come on in.
You guys filming?
Yes.
Come say hi. The people miss you.
Where are you going?
Going to put gas in your mom's car.
Oh, nice.
As you should. All right. How would someone over 6'3" or 6'4" fit? Is anyone... Oh, Pat just walked by.
They fit well. I drove
yeah.
one for a year and a half. He's been able to fit in the front and in the back seat. Okay. Is the navigation system available on the base trim? Not on the base trim. It starts in Canada on the EX trim. I also saw a question talking about the wheelbase because this is a longer wheelbase than other parts in the world. I
Yes.
know in Europe, you basically ditch the third window, and it's like body panel, and the wheelbase is significantly shorter. I saw it when I was in the UK a couple weeks ago. Does any trim offer lumbar adjustment on the front passenger seat, or is it perhaps offered as part of a package? In Canada, as of right now, no, there is no lumbar available for the passenger seat. I'm not sure if that's something we'll be expecting. I don't think it'll be something that'll be added on in 2026.
It's not in the news that we know.
No, no. It's not super common to see two perfectly matching drivers and passenger seats. There's a couple vehicles that have it, but
Garage door opener. So when Charlotte showed the mirror, it does have home link buttons, so you have the 3.
do you know if Kia is selling user driving data to insurance companies? So I actually read the terms and conditions through Kia Connect, and I also spoke to Kia Canada about it, and they're doing no communication with insurance companies.
Win, or else I would be in trouble.
Yeah, otherwise Gabi's insurance would be through the roof.
Any new hatchbacks coming in 2025 or a subcompact SUV? So the Seltos should be redesigned next year. Redesigned, not a refresh. There is talk about a K4 hatchback, but there's nothing concrete on that yet. If anything, I do believe it would come for the 2026 model year, but I can't promise anything. I'm just very, very believing that it's coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm very, very, I feel strongly
Living
about
on a
it.
prayer.
Oh,
I
yes.
feel strongly
I feel
about
strongly about it. The Kia Soul is getting discontinued, so I don't know if you saw my Friday video, but that was probably our last Kia Soul live walkthrough for a new vehicle. But as far as everything else on the radar, we got a lot of electric, compact SUVs on their way, 2 at least. And that's about it for now on our radar for the Kia side of things. Hyundai, that's another story. All right, Charlotte, anything else we should answer?
I don't think so.
Well, with that being curious, does Kia Canada offer the dimming mirror with HomeLink as an accessory like Kia America? So no, I don't believe we have any. It's not something we can add on or buy in our parts department, not the Kia authorized at least. Not saying you can't find something aftermarket, but it wouldn't be Kia authorized.
Yeah.
That being said, send off today's video.
Yeah, so we will be back at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should we say what we're doing? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
Okay.
Sorento.
Sorento Hybrid SX.
All right, guys, bye.
Bye.